An early build of Windows 11 is leaked before Microsoft has even announced it, and it's looking pretty awesome. Let's explore it together in this episode of OS First Timer. So here you are on the desktop of Windows 11 build 21996.1. This is an early version of Windows 11 that is leaked out before Microsoft has even announced its existence, which is potentially due to occur on the 24th of June 2021. Now, Microsoft has recently announced that Windows 10 will no longer be supported from October 14th, 2025. So what we're looking at today is an early version of what's going to replace Windows 10. So just looking at it, you've probably noticed things are looking quite different in comparison to Windows 10. Do you notice any changes?
It does, but it's got good taste. Look, blue.
Well,
How did I know?
That's just your desktop background, the default background
go.
so far, so that can always be changed.
No, that's okay. If I change this, I'll change that.
Anyway, anything else you noticed? Does anything else look a little different?
Yes, the little things are centered as opposed to the side. I'm sure the Windows one was on the side there.
Here you go. Here's Windows 10.
Yeah.
So you got like your little icons down here at the bottom. You open your start menu. It's all here.
Yeah, and I don't like that. And I remember I never used that. I even got you to.
You've got all your items at the bottom here in the bar, and you use them all like that. Yeah.
And that's how you did that for me. And I even have my on-off switch as a icon on the
because you don't like
desktop.
the Windows 10 start menu.
I never open that thing up. I don't like it, and that's why I have everything on the desktop and in that bottom bar, because I've never liked that start button there. For people that have Windows 10, will they automatically just be given this as an upgrade, or do they have to pay for it, or what happens?
Microsoft has been doing a lot of free updates recently. Most likely it will be a free update.
But technically, if you buy a new laptop or computer,
it'll generally have the latest version. Yeah, it'll have Windows 11. The price hasn't been announced yet. Windows 11, what you're using now, hasn't even been announced yet. Okay, so I can't give you much official information. So we'll start off doing the basic OS First Timer tasks, and as you do them, we'll discuss all the changes in this operating system.
Okay.
So I didn't ask you the task yet.
Well, I know. After
What
doing
time
it
is
so
it?
many times, it's 12:52 p.m.
Okay.
Pretty easy.
Now, number one, do you notice that looks a little bit different?
Oh, it does. They've actually got the day and the date. But you know what's
the
really
date's
funny?
usually there. It's just the day that they've added. The next task is, can you write, save, open, and delete a text document?
Can I just say something first?
What?
I like the way it's got those little things there, but it reminds me of Mac.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so
a lot of
basically,
people feel that way
I
too.
think to myself, if I go here, will these all go big? But no,
yeah,
they
like the
didn't go
dock
big.
where you put your cursor over the dock and stuff. Yeah, it is giving. It has Mac vibes.
It does, very much so.
It even has Linux vibes to me. But anyway, let's continue. Try and open a text document, a text program,
A text program.
Notepad, something like that.
Now, let's have a look. Well, there's the calculator. You sure don't want me to do the
that's
calculator?
the task after.
Okay. I can't actually see it, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a search.
Okay.
Well, these are all apps. Wait a sec.
So you're going to search for it? There it is.
Notepad.
Okay, so you did find Notepad.
Yep.
We'll just make this window a little bit smaller because it's quite large. The first thing I want to point out is, do you think there was Notepad somewhere on here without having to go to the search?
Well, it's got Microsoft Edge, which is the browser. It's got Mail, which is your email. Why does it have Netflix? I mean, you'd think it would have Notepad as opposed to Netflix.
Okay, so these are just by default the pinned apps.
And Solitaire. Why do they have Solitaire?
They're just the pinned apps by default, so you can pin your own apps here. So similar to how you can pin apps down here, you can have as many apps that are installed there.
Oh, wait a sec. Notepad is
No.
down.
That's because it's open. That's your taskbar.
I was thinking, I didn't see that before. Okay,
no, but you could pin it down there if you wanted to pin it, just like you do in Windows 10. You pin things. So it's not obvious to you then immediately
but I could search
there are more apps that can be displayed.
Yeah, oh, actually, wait a sec. Does this little thing here tell you that there's more? Notepad. There we go.
So,
I found it.
So basically, you can actually scroll up and down like that,
I just
with the wheel.
now. Yeah.
So yeah, and you can see multiple pages here. You've also got the option All Apps. So if you haven't pinned an app, it just has all your apps here in alphabetical order, and you can see, hey, there's Notepad.
Okay. You know what? I think I prefer that.
Oh, you prefer this?
Because the other one reminds me too much of the Windows, actually the Windows 8 with all the, things there on the one thing.
That was a Metro look. This was like the Metro look, but it was almost like this full screen.
But that was also, that's Windows 8 first came out. That was the basic
Yeah, but it was
and
like...
that's what I didn't like.
Yeah, but it was like the entire screen was like filled with that.
Because
There
it
was
made
no
me
start
feel...
menu. It felt disconnected.
No, it just made me feel like, wait a second... Has my computer suddenly morphed into an iPad or something? I don't want an iPad. I want a computer.
So the way the current start menu is in Windows 10, if you click it open like this, you can scroll through your programs down here in alphabetical order, and then you've got these live tiles here. So see how here, Windows 10, you've got everything like with sharp corners. Then if we pop into Windows 11, rounded corners. Even here, rounded corners. We've no longer got these sharp corners anymore.
That's nicer.
Yeah, it is. In my opinion.
It is more modern, I think.
Basically, the Windows 10 thing that you had at the side is now here. You know how Windows 10 has that, you automatically open it and you see this?
I actually prefer this.
Yeah.
And I like the way it's centered too, as opposed to the left.
Basically, Windows 10 has this by default shown without clicking something extra. But I guess if you just wanted to pin all the apps, imagine if these apps were all apps you actually use and you pinned them there yourself. Wouldn't that be useful to just be like, okay, I want to use, and then you see all your apps that you've pinned there?
Yeah, so you can, I'm assuming, unpin
the
the ones that you don't want.
Correct. So this is almost like your quick access where you want to access all the apps that you always use.
Well, technically, if you want to really quickly access it, why don't you just pin it to the taskbar at the bottom? That way, things that you use, more often, you just go straight to, as opposed to going to the Windows, opening it up, then selecting it in there.
So just on this...
One step as opposed to two.
So just on this screen, you've got 18 apps showing.
Yeah.
If you had 18 apps in this bar...
No, but I wouldn't have all of them. I mean, look, I wouldn't have Spotify, Netflix, Solitaire, Xbox.
But I'm just saying, let's say you put in your taskbar Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Adobe Fireworks, Adobe Photoshop...
That fit along the bottom.
Chrome.
Fine.
Well, you could, but if you just want it neater and you just don't want too much at the bottom, you've got the start menu. But you are not a start menu. I know you're not a start menu person.
I'm not a start menu.
You like pinning everything to the bottom.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
But would you say this start menu is better than the Windows 10 start menu? We got rid of the live tiles.
I definitely, because I never liked that Wall Streety live tile.
So they're gone now. It's much cleaner. It's nicer in my opinion. But anyway, so that's that.
And it's centered too, which is good because, I mean, that way you're looking straight at the center as opposed to always the side.
Okay, so if you didn't want it centered, I will just show you this. You have got the option down here. I
actually like it centered.
I know. You can right-click on the taskbar settings, and if you're a person who's used to it all being at the side, say, look, it's now all at the side. As if it was a normal, like, Windows 10, but it's still with the Windows 11
But it comes as default in the center.
In the center, yeah.
And that's the way I like it, actually.
Okay.
I mean, look, generally I prefer things to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But I feel this is better.
So, do you like the animations? So, if we click left here...
Oh,
it does little animations.
That's actually cute. Okay.
So, here's a little example of Notepad in Windows 10 as opposed to Notepad in Windows 11. Now, I prefer having everything blue. So I've got my title bar blue. You could have this exactly white like in Windows 10. What do you think about the difference between having these corners sharp versus rounded?
Rounded is much better because when you think of, for instance, the evolution of cars, from boxy to curved, I mean, it seems to be the modern projection.
Well, I think you're thinking of the evolution of like 80s cars to modern cars. I mean, they were a bit more curved back
well,
in
I guess
the
they
olden
were.
days.
But I'm talking from when I can remember. I mean, obviously I wasn't alive back in the 1920s and 30s and stuff, so obviously I don't remember the curved cars back then. But what I'm saying is generally things go from boxy to curves, which is more modern. And so this is exactly what Windows seems to be doing.
Okay, fantastic.
Took them long enough, though. 11.
They've had curved before. Think of Windows Vista, Windows 7.
So why did they go back to the pointy if they had curved? It doesn't make sense.
Now, it's the way really fashion works. There's only so many designs you can do, and people kind of think, oh, curved is now the old thing. Let's make it sharp corners, and oh, sharp corners is now the old thing. It's like the iPhone. They have a curved, then a squared off edges, and curved and the squared off edges. Anyway.
Yeah, I prefer this.
Right, save and open a text document.
Hello world.
Is this like your first ever text document?
Save as.
Like a famous programming thing. So you're in, where is it saving to?
It's saving to documents folder.
Documents, fantastic. Okay, give it a file name, and we'll keep it in the documents so that you can, navigate through your documents.
Okay,
and
I was
everything.
going to make
you
it
usually
to the
do it onto your
desktop,
desktop.
so it's easier to find.
In real life, she says everything to a desktop, and it becomes a big mess. There we go. So you can close it off now, and let's see if you can find it.
Oops, one click.
Yep.
And documents, which is 2 clicks. I'm in documents, so you are. There it is.
Fantastic. Can you delete that?
Okay.
And just as you've deleted that now, what do you notice about the bin?
Has it become full?
Yeah, it's full, but let's look at the...
Well, actually, I'm going to have to change the name. I'm in recycle bin now because it's now in recycle bin.
So let's have a little look and see if you prefer the Windows 10 bin or the Windows 11 bin. So the Windows 10 bin was sort of at an angle, yet this bin in Windows 11 is straight on. But it's pretty much the same bin.
Have the recycle symbol?
Yeah, they both had. It's just
okay.
one is at an angle, and now they've said, let's show it straight on. Why is it at an angle for? Probably someone with OCD made this.
No, I'm thinking maybe it's at an angle because it's like ready for you to chuck, and so it can catch it. You know what I mean?
You could throw something in a bin no matter what angle it's in.
But I'm thinking if it was leaning towards you, maybe easier. So it was
it was
probably
diagonal as opposed to...
Gives you the perception that it's easy to put things in the diagonal.
What bin do you prefer?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I don't really have a preference with bins, as long as they don't stink.
Okay.
Basically.
Well, there's no stink marks coming out, so I think we're pretty good there. Okay, so another thing I want to show you is the new... when your computer boots up, what sound does it make? What's the boot up sound in Windows 10?
Oh, I've got to try and think. Do-do-do, isn't it? Do-do-do? Well, that's not. I can't even remember.
There's no boot up sound in Windows 10. It was a trick question.
What was I remembering then?
Maybe XP?
Oh!
Something like that, which is actually the shutdown sound of XP. So actual sound effects in Windows, boot up sounds and stuff that had, Windows 95,
So they
98.
got rid of that?
Yeah, so XP had a boot up sound, Vista.
Isn't it funny how you take things, you just unconsciously you don't even remember these things?
Yeah, so when Windows 8 came along, boot up sounds were gone. Mm-hmm. Windows 10 came along, boot up sounds were gone. And Windows 11, it looks like they're reintroducing it. Now, I've got a little video. Here's what the boot up sound sounds like and what it looks like as you boot Windows 11 up. Do you like that? So you turn your computer on and you hear that.
Good.
So here you go again. There you go. So the sound effects are back, okay?
That sounds really good. I feel like there's just about to be an announcement in the aeroplane as I'm about to take a flight.
Okay, well, if you're familiar with Windows 10X, which was originally designed for dual-screen devices before shifting to a refined, lightweight and simplified design to target laptops, and then eventually they actually cancelled that altogether, then you'll probably notice that a lot of the work that went into Windows 10X has actually been used here in Windows 11 instead. But you probably never saw Windows 10X since it was never released, so you wouldn't know. But this is sort of what Windows 10X looked like.
Oh, right.
So it's kind of a project that was scrapped. They've reused some of it here.
Okay.
Anyway, next up, can you calculate 11 times 11? Fantastic. 121. That was easy, eh?
Yep.
Now, a few things I want to show you now. Let's say you had a few things open. You have a notepad open, you have the calculator open, and let's say you wanted to snap this window to one of the corners or edges of the screen. How do you do it? Yeah, that's right. That's correct. And then
snap this to the
and
other
then
one?
you can click there, just click it in spot to
yeah.
snap. But you'll notice it looks different in Windows 10 to Windows 11 when you're trying to drag something to the edge of the screen. And I'll show you that now. This Windows 10 just looks so dodgy, doesn't it?
Well,
I've never liked it either. Look, Windows 8 was the downfall of good looks. As soon as Windows 8
Windows 8 was the start of our channel.
Yeah.
Technically.
So when Windows 8 came out, that was just... Lots of people liked it. Lots of people...
I was one of the haters for it.
I was a hater as well, okay?
From the sheer frustration I had of trying to navigate through that Wall Street tile thing.
And they got rid of the aero look, the transparent look of with Vista and 7.
Vista
and then they go to
7.
this, like this look, basically. Anyway...
Yeah.
let's see what this looks like. When you drag a program like Notepad in Windows 10, it shows you this sort of like a glass, an outline.
Yeah.
See that look?
Yep, I see.
Now let's see what it looks like in Windows 11. When you drag a program now in Windows 11, it's number one, it's rounded edges still, because they're keeping with that rounded look. But it's instead of a glass look, it's a frosted glass.
It's a frosted. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Which I think it actually adds to the look. I don't know. I like it. I prefer it too. So I think everything they're doing here with Windows 11...
I think it's an improvement.
It's an improvement.
It's great.
Like, Windows 10 was an improvement to Windows 8. Windows 11 was it. But Windows 8, everything
was
went
an
downhill.
improvement to Windows 8, I can tell you.
As soon as Windows 8 came out, everything went downhill. But then they've been improved. The further away from Windows 8 they get, the better it gets, in my opinion.
Or maybe they'll adopt, the Vista and 7 characteristics again, and then just make the perfect operating system from that.
Yeah, so another thing you probably didn't notice is if I minimize Notepad, do you notice a little icon? It does like a little bounce in the bottom. Stare at the Notepad icon. Don't watch as it comes out, but just look at this. See how it kind of, there's a little bounce, and even if you click the start menu, it's like little bounces. It's bouncy as you click on things.
Yes.
None of that happened in Windows 10. So here, if you click on Windows 10, you click on it.
Yeah,
there's no bounce. And if you were to, if there was a program that you wanted, there's no bounce.
No, there's no bounce.
That little animation gives it that effect. Like,
I like
everything's
that bounce.
right.
It's more reactive. It's like it's reacting
alive.
to your commands. Yeah, it does. It feels alive. That's exactly right. Just like when you have a little bounce in your step.
So next up, put your cursor over the maximize button. Don't click it. Just put your cursor over it. This is something new. So this is little designs, and you can click if you want, for example, your programs to be placed like this, and you can place there, or there. So you've got little choices.
Let me just do something. So if I go there, so then I can go in this one and say which window I want.
Which corner, you want it to go into.
So it's gone there.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
And then by default, this is like, hey, where do you want to put me and stuff like that. But if you wanted, how sometimes you want programs like as a row of 3.
Yes.
Or one in the middle, which is larger than the others.
Or even one on top of the other and then one big one on the side.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that. It's kind of a shortcut from, you can still do it like this. But this is if you want to be quite specific. Hey, I want it exactly centered like this. And I want that like that, and then...
That's so good. What a good idea.
They're just adding
because
little
sometimes I use that clicking feature quite a lot, because sometimes I have multiple pages open at once, and I may want one this way or that way or whatever. And sometimes I try and click, but then it misses it and does the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And this way you can ensure exactly where you want it. And
exactly.
I like that.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so now it is time to change the desktop background. Let's get into that.
Right click.
And you notice that even this is rounded. Like, look at the corners. Instead of a square...
Yeah, that's really nice.
Box, even these corners.
And I mean, technically, these are rounded too. Look, so everything's rounded. Anyway. Okay, so personalize. So I can pick that one, which is just a bit of a line. No, that doesn't match my top, so I prefer this one.
Have a look at some of the others too.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, let's move it so you can have a little... There you go.
Yeah.
That is quite nice, isn't it?
That is nice. Where is that? Doesn't it even look as if it's on Earth?
I don't think it's real. It looks nice, but unrealistic. Okay, let's try a few others.
What happened to that grass there? Why isn't it that green?
I don't know. These are just the new Windows 11 wallpapers.
Okay.
Here we go, another shot here.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that.
Not into that one? Okay.
Is that all? Are there any other...
So, I believe if we click over here on themes, there are some... there's a Windows dark theme, so you've got this, but with the dark background.
No, I actually like the light.
There's not many backgrounds, to be honest. So
but I guess people normally put photos up of their animals or...
Yeah.
I mean, Jazzy has a desktop background of Ricky on and I've got of the seagull that we took in Bernie. I love that desktop background.
So you've probably even noticed now that the Windows file browser is even taking advantage of this dark theme, like it's black at the top now.
Yeah, I have.
So like that, and even this is all dark. It's kind of like a night
So
theme.
it reacts to whatever desktop background you have. It reacts to that and tries to match it.
Oh, well, actually, that would just happen to be a dark theme. So if we go back to Windows Light Theme, and if you change the background now to this, you could still have
it's
the light
still-
look
Oh, so you
without the dark
actually
background.
changed
Yeah,
the
because we
theme.
clicked on a darker theme.
Didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. Out of interest, what is your favourite Windows 11 background?
Well, I like the second one there
Yeah.
because of the fact that it matches my door, and it's quite. It's uncluttered and it's quite soothing on the eye.
Yeah.
But I do like that the landscape
This
one.
one.
Too.
So if it were you, what would you use? Would you have this as your background, a landscape?
I'd still have my seagull
No,
and bird.
if you had to choose, if
I
to
had
choose
to
the Windows
choose
11
of
one,
those
it would
two.
probably be this or that blue.
Do you know what? I'm
Yeah.
actually technically half, because I can see the advantages and disadvantages of both. And this one is a real uncluttered, like this one's good for putting all your icons on
Yeah.
the back, you can see them clearly. Whereas the other one's very soothing to the eyes, so
You pretty much happy to keep this one, or do you want to change it to the
we'll
landscape?
keep that one
Oh, we'll keep this?
because I'm not going to change the top. So.
Okay. Well, you know how to change the desktop background. The
Yes.
task was to change it, but, you changed it back.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's say now that you wanted to actually change the colour of this bar at the bottom, and when you open this up,
Yeah.
let's say you didn't want this to be this white colour. Maybe
No, it doesn't even look white. It looks like it's a sort of
Well-
a mixture of pink and grey and...
Let's say you didn't want this colour. Let's say you
I
wanted
do
this...
want that colour.
For the sake of changing this around to show off that you can customize Windows, what do you think you do to change the colours of the taskbar and that kind of thing? So this is all to do with the background.
Tile,
Oh, don't worry about doing tile and stuff.
colours. Automatically pick an accent colour from my background. You know what? Let's do that.
You have got some colours here. So scrolling down, you can see there are some
No, I
colours.
want it to automatically.
But it says show accent colour on the following surface on the title bars and window borders.
Oh, so I
It's
haven't actually...
unticked.
Okay, well, I'll tick it.
Tick that maybe. Now let's have a look. And choose a colour. So it looks like if you come over here and you click colour dark, then you've got a choice of various colours. So we'll tick to have the start bar and stuff. And then if you click on, for example, a blue colour, you've got a blue taskbar at the
Yeah,
bottom.
I see. And
then you can have this all blue, you see.
Oh,
so you
I
can
see.
change your
so
colour
if
like
I
that.
want purple...
Yep, like a light purple. Then you've got a purpley colour taskbar at the bottom. And if you open your little menu, it's a purpley colour.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not even a solid colour. It looks like it's slightly... Look, I like that.
Yeah, it's sort of because the background. See how it's a
Yeah.
very... Because it's like a misted, like a frosted
I like
window.
that.
And it shows the background behind.
Yeah.
So,
that's
for
quite
example, I
nice.
guess if you had this here, you kind of see the frost of those colours in the background. So just have a few more look at other colour choices. What would you think you'd do? That's very pink, eh? Let's have a little look. Orchard light. Is that how you do it? You'd have your computer... It's very, like, girly now. You know, you can... Because, I mean, the white was quite sterile and, like, it looked nice, but it doesn't give you much
No, I
colour
know,
personality.
but
So what colour would you have?
can I just say that looks a little more blue than what I've selected there.
Yeah.
I wanted it a really light purple.
Do a custom colour. Let's get it perfect.
Okay.
So you
wait a
can
sec.
put it anywhere you
Let
like.
me-
I think...
Lavender. Oh, it even says.
Oh, it even
look.
says here, it gives you a colour.
Look at that. Lavender, blue, green, light green.
So it even has
aqua.
colour there. Choose what colour you
Lavender.
think suits you. So this lavender. Oh, look
Ooh.
at that.
Well, there we go.
There you go. And then this is all pink.
Oh my goodness.
It's too much?
Jazzy would love this.
Okay. Notice it also
Oh,
does
it
pink
does a
along
little
the edges.
tiny
Do you
edge.
think you like that, or would you just...
No.
Turn
I
that
like
one
it.
off?
No. Turn it
You
on.
like the pink around
I
the
like
edges.
it.
So the
I
little
want it on.
shiny
Turn
pink.
it on.
Okay. Personally, for me, I wouldn't have that on
I
myself.
would.
But you...
It gives
your
it
thing.
almost like a 3D effect. I like it.
Okay,
Go.
so that means if you have any applications open, you can... Oh, and the pink bar at the top here. That rounded look just looks so much better than that sharp look. And that looks kind of nice, actually, having little pinks there, but it does go white when it's not the selected
so
window.
therefore you know what
Yeah, what window is
open
yeah.
by it being pink.
Yeah, well, there you go. So what do you think about the look of, being able to change and make this pink, or what colour you like? And it's
I like
rounded. It just looks good all around, hey?
It does. It really does.
Remember, this could change, though. Just like with Windows Whistler, when you tried out Windows Whistler, and then XP was the final version of Whistler.
And then it didn't look...
It didn't look anything like it. So, you know, they could, you know, this might not be the final look. So next up, let's look at some of the other features that are included here with Windows 11. So next up here, you have got this task view. Now, I'll show you what that is. Let's say that you're working on something, I don't know, that was at the corner and you had Paint up as well, open here. And you're doing stuff, and then you thought, oh, I want to do something else, but I want to keep this look, right? I want to keep this here, but I want to do something else and arrange windows in another way, but be able to come back to this.
Right.
So you would click over here at Task View, and then you'd go New Desktop.
Oh, okay.
And here with this new desktop...
That reminds me of an Ubuntu one.
Yeah,
that
they
we had
have
four
something
different...
like that.
There were 4 different, like, desktops.
Yeah,
that you could have,
exactly.
and you could flip between them.
And then you could be like, here we are. You're not actually going to now play solitaire and stuff.
Okay.
But like you're here in calendar.
Yeah.
Notice it sounds... It's also very calming. It's less like the old systems had much more stressful sounds, you could say. And let's say you wanted to be changing your settings here and, you know, all of these things. This is a fake email, by the way. This is not your... I just made this account for this computer. It's, you don't actually use or have that account.
No, that is not my email address.
So anyone
don't
thinking
start
that
sending
you're emailing
emails
you're emailing to a blank...
yeah, it's not
thing,
mine.
yeah. Okay. Oh, and you can slide these around if you want to, you know, change the location of these on the start menu.
Yes.
So yeah, let's say you had all this open and you even had a calculator at the bottom here. And then what do you think you'd do to go back to your other desktop?
Where was it? That one.
Yep, task view, and it even tells you. And here you
That's
can see...
actually similar on my iPhone, actually. When I want to flip between ones, I go to a symbol very similar
Yeah, but
to
this
that.
isn't just apps. This is the entire desktop setup. See, so you're back to this setup where you had 2 apps like this.
Yeah.
And this was, you know, File Explorer and Paint. And then, I don't know, then Jazzy says, oh, I need to use a computer because I want to play solitaire while I'm changing the account settings, looking at my calendar and calculating something. You know, and then you've got this set up. And it's a quick, instead of minimizing all of these and trying to replace them to go flick, you can flick back really easily to these things you're doing.
Yes.
This feature was also in Windows 10, but it did look a little bit different. Let's have a little look. In Windows 10, let's just say you had Mail open like this and you had your Notepad application. How would you go to a new desktop, do you think, in Windows 10?
I don't think you could.
You could actually.
Well, I never have. So
you just click this button here on the taskbar, and then you can click New Desktop, and then you've got the desktops here, and you know you can switch between them. So it did exist in Windows 10, so it's technically not a new feature.
But I feel it's easier to do here.
Probably because of the icon looks a bit larger.
Yeah.
And, that kind of thing. Okay.
And the icon reminds me too of what I've got on my iPhone with relation to
switching apps. Yeah, it does look more like a switcher, like desktop switcher.
Yeah.
Okay, next up here you have got the widgets. So this is just an early version of the Windows 11 widgets, and you can kind of scroll through here. You've got like little news stories and that kind of thing, and the weather, money market. You can, you know, have all your, I guess, shares and that kind of thing here. So you've got like a little widget thing. So if you're ever doing something and you want to just access these widgets, you think, what's the weather today? Or what are the share prices of this or that?
I just
you
look at the
click on
weather
that.
on my iPhone.
I know, but if you just wanted it here, you know, you've got it all here, and news stories and stuff like that. If you just wanted to, would you have that in your taskbar? You could.
It's not something I use.
Okay, so you would unpin that.
I would.
Okay,
yes.
that actually also recently was added to Windows 10. You probably noticed it on your computer in Windows 10. So it's not here in this older version of Windows 10, but if we come here to my version of Windows 10 in real life, have you seen this on your computer? Like a little weather thing. That's a new thing. And what does it bring up? The widget thing that's from Windows 11.
Well, I've never actually opened that up.
So instead of having it here, I guess they've moved it to a new spot in Windows 11. Okay, so there we go. That is Windows 11. What are your thoughts on it? What do you feel? Because you're actually at a point now where, unlike Windows Whistler and stuff, if you had a choice, do we want the watercolor look or the lunar look, you know, for the final version of XP? You didn't really get to make that choice back then.
No,
I
know.
Well, when we did that video looking back at that, it's not like you could really leave your feedback and stuff, but you've actually got a chance of leaving feedback now. What would you want to say to Microsoft right now? Windows
11 is definitely a step forward. I do like it. I like quite a few of the aspects of it. I like the fact that you can have those icon things in the center there. I like the curved edges. It's much more modern. The customization is great. Yeah, I just feel that it is definitely a step forward, and I love the fact that you can actually click windows to the side and select, to select
the
that.
new selection system.
I really like that because
also,
that is something I actually use.
And also I guess this look
frosted
here, which
glass. That's actually quite good.
Frosted glass looks really good, actually.
It does. And I do like the little shading along the edge as well when you customise. Yes, I do like that.
Yeah, that's an option.
Not
it's
necessarily
not by
pink, but the fact it's a colour.
Yeah.
So I do feel that Windows 11 is a definite step forward.
Okay. Now, is there anything about this that you feel you still don't like? It needs to be changed. If you were to make it even better.
Well, let's just say Windows 7 and Windows Vista, I loved that see-through-y sort of look. There was another one we looked at where it had the graduation of the colour on the thing. What was that? That was the
watercolor, that little the little grid thing. So you had like a little grid here. So there was a grid and it kind of there was like maybe it's a dark pink that goes into a light pink little grid or something like that.
I actually like that. And rather than having like a solid colour, sort of graduating, not necessarily a grid, but I didn't mind the grid.
Okay.
But just have it graduating. And I like the transparency too of the Windows Vista. So to me, if they incorporated a bit of that into this, it would make it even better.
Okay. So, for example, just having it so that this is... Do you know what a cool feature I think that would be cool? If you grabbed a window, if it went slightly transparent as you grabbed it, so you could almost see what's under it, and then you place it and it becomes solid again, almost like just make it slightly... like ghosted the window as you move it around.
That's a really good idea, actually. I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say here, you know, you could kind of see calculator under this as you're moving it. Almost if there was like a bit of text and you wanted to know how far the text is away.
Yes.
I just think that would be cool. Yeah, and I think up here, if there was an option to give it a bit of a see-through pink look, so you could see through the pink rather than it being solid, and as you said, potentially maybe one side is one colour and the other side is another, and there's a gradient that fades it in the middle just a bit more, but yeah.
And even... this is just going a bit weird. Yeah. But even like, you know how, I don't know how it happened. It was quite by accident that I put on this blue top and it just happened to be blue. Imagine a desktop background where depending on what you're wearing when you turned it on, it became that colour.
So, like, that could be integrated potentially into Windows Hello, where, you know, where you look at a computer and it logs in through Windows Hello, it maybe if it checks what shirt colour is she wearing and then it adjusts the background colour to be the shirt colour.
Yes. No, look, that's just silly, but wouldn't it be funny?
Yeah. Well, there we go. That was Windows 11, a very early build of it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to watch Microsoft's video when they announce Windows 11 on June 24th, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.